Hey, what's up and welcome back to the channel. Naeem here from Bass Brothers Fishing DMV. Super excited to bring you this brand new John boat build. That's right, got a boat sitting right behind me. We're about to get to work. This is the Alumacraft 1232 12-foot John boat. I'm excited for a few things. One, this is a brand new build. It's going to be built a little bit differently from my boat. I'm going to use everything I learned from my build and apply it to this. This is a small boat, so it's going to be a much lighter build. I'll be paying close attention to the materials that I put in this boat when it comes to weight. Secondly, this boat is going to feature some of the latest techniques and technologies. One being a dry hatch system, which is not in my boat. Can't wait to get it in this boat behind me. Before I go any further, let me show you this boat. This is a 12-foot flat bottom aluminum John boat by Alumacraft, and we've got a small front deck, middle deck, rear deck. As you can see, the inside is painted red. That's one part of the color scheme for the boat. Ultimately, this John boat is going to be tricked out in red, black, and yellow to follow the theme of the owner of the boat and their YouTube channel. By the time I'm done doing the build on this boat, the only red you will see will be the outer perimeter around the deck and the sidewalls right here, and inside some of the hatches as well. That red will pop when you open the hatch and the light hits it. It's going to be awesome. The outside of the boat is going to be painted in black, and the owner of the boat is going to take care of that. That's actually not part of what I'll be doing. I'm going to try to fix some of the red that's on the gun rails as well, so at least when I'm done it looks great. This is going to be an all-electric John boat. We'll have a motor in the front and the rear of the boat. This will be fished mostly on electric only reservoir, so this is going to be a perfect setup for that. Again, super excited about this. This is going to be an all aluminum build. There'll be no wood decking on this boat. Completely different from what I did on my boat. Everything will be aluminum. Again, have the dry hatch system. Dry hatch systems from NCB, that's Nate Custom Boats who makes them. Decked out with LED lights, both in the hatches and deck lighting. We'll have a bilge pump, switch panels, the whole 9 yards. All right, let's talk about the layout a little bit. And this is subject to change, of course. When you're building a boat, things change all the time. There'll be a big hatch up here where you can access baits, your oars, life jackets, whatever else you may need up front. There'll be a big hatch centered right here. Probably put one of the batteries, the trolling motor battery, either here or back here. The front deck will extend from the front of the boat till about this far. And the reason being, I'm going to have another hatch system right here for a cooler. Put the switch panel over here as well, but this will be a whole nother hatch system right here. We're going to leave as much of this middle cockpit area open as possible for functionality right here in the middle. We'll deck the back of this as well. Again, all aluminum decking is going to be sweet, and put 2 hatches in the rear, one on this side which will house the battery, and on this side will be another hatch. This will be a much bigger hatch space on this side of the boat as well. One thing I do like about this boat, even though it's a 12-footer, the area back here is pretty big, so we're going to make the best of what space we have. This is a 1232 boat, so it has a 32-inch base, which is not that wide, and I'll be paying very close attention to how much materials I put in this boat, how much weight I add to the boat. I do plan to track all the weight that I'm going to add to this build and let you guys know at the end of the build how much weight I added to this boat, so stick around. I'm excited to bring you guys along for the journey. Once again, if this is going to be your first time watching me build a boat, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode of this build. It's going to be cool. We're going to get this boat ready for spring. That's the goal. It's cold outside right now. We're going to crank this thing out. Hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell so you get all the uploads on this build, and get ready for another fun boat build. I'm going to try to bring you guys as much details as possible, as I always do, to try to help out anyone out there that's looking to build or mod a boat. Anyway, enough of me talking. Man, I'm so pumped. Let's get into it. Let's start building this thing out. All right, so first things first, we got to get this boat leveled on this trailer. As you can see, the winch is a little bit pushed back, so the boat sits further back on the trailer. We're going to get all this set up properly. Also get the trailer off the ground. And this is really important because one of the first things you need to do is level your boat. And to do that, you got to level the trailer and then level the boat off. So let's go ahead and take care of that first and foremost. Let's go. All right, all done. Boat's looking completely leveled. I had to adjust the bunks, the front and the rear because it wasn't supporting the boat evenly. You don't want there to be pressure points underneath your boat, because long term, let's say a lot of the weight is being held up from this part of the bunk or that. You don't want the boat to take that kind of pressure long term. It can lead to damaging the rivets and ultimately having leaks. So we got everything leveled off and installed the trailer jack. Got this from Bass Pro Shops. Really good deal. I was shocked, $20. So got the trailer jack on and also had to adjust the winch. It was in the wrong location as well. So as you can see under here, the winch is supporting the boat and hooked up right there. So everything is in order. First things first, start from the ground up. We gotta get the foam in here and a subfloor. So let's get at it. This is my 3x3 piece of aluminum sheeting for the subfloor. And for this, I'm going lighter than I've ever gone before. I'm going with 0.040 aluminum, and that's key for this build. Again, being such a light build for a small boat that's only 32 inches wide, I need to make sure that this boat is as light as possible. So we're going even lighter for all aluminum on this build. I've got my cardboard cut out and I'm going to trace it onto the aluminum sheet and then cut it out. When in doubt, stay conservative and draw your lines outside of the template. That way, if you need to make trims, you can, and you don't cut too short off the brake. So perfect. I'll eventually rivet this down into the ribs of the boat. Put a rivet here, 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 and here. Or hold this in place. For the rear of the boat, I'm going with a thicker aluminum sheet, and this is 0.063. I'm trying to limit how much weight I put in the boat to limit the amount of wobbling this boat does. A boat this size will naturally have wobble in it on the water. It will tilt. My goal again, try to keep the aluminum and everything I add to this boat as light as possible. And I think this is a good combination between sturdiness and it being light. Another reason why I'm going with a thicker piece than I did 0.040 for the subfloor underneath the front deck, is that this will be weight bearing. All right, so I'm gonna get some cardboard, get this all measured out, which seems to be the best technique for me, is to just get the template laid out using cardboard so I can get the correct measurements between the ribs of the boat and get the exact same right measurements so I could trace it out on the aluminum and then get the aluminum cut out. All right, so just a little trick I learned I want to share with you guys out there. I've got the piece cut out pretty good. I'm feeling really good about it, but I do have about 1/4 of an inch, slimmed down to about 1/8 of an inch gap. So I just like to add a piece of cardboard right to the end, covering the gap, and I'll hold it in place and just tape it to the board. I just need it to be able to be held in place enough for me to trace it out, okay? So it doesn't have to be some crazy, magnificent tape job. Just get it on there so that it doesn't move. I'm just using box tape because it's the closest thing I could find to me. That. So one of the keys is just take your time when you're doing this part. I've actually rushed through this part on my boat and made some mistakes and stuff like that. Just have some patience. I've worked on this cardboard piece right here for about an hour just to give you some perspective on how long it could take to just get it right. Subfloor is in for the main cockpit area and it came out really good. I am pretty happy with this. I'll be riveting this down. All right, so I'm not sure if my GoPro recorded what I just did. I used countersink rivets to put the subfloor in, and it came out perfectly flat and smooth. And I'm using countersink rivets because this will be hydroturfed. So now I'll just drop 3 rivets on this side. All right, all done. This is just the beginning. So much more coming your way. This video just lays the foundation for the rest of the build for the entire boat. And don't worry guys, I'll be going into full detail showing you exactly how I'll be countersinking these rivets, using closed pop rivets to install the side railings on the boat. I'll also be doing a full unboxing of the dry lid hatches from Nate's Custom Boats and installing a brand new 5 horsepower electric motor by Elco. I'll be doing the front and rear deck framing as well as showing you guys how I installed the middle bench riser. After that, I'll be doing electronics, and for this build, I'll be going into much more details. I want to address some frequently asked questions I got based on the first build and hopefully make it crystal clear for you guys. So stick around to the channel, hit that subscribe button, leave us a like, and be a part of this epic build. If you're new to the channel, check out my previous build playlist at the top of the screen. This is going to be a fun and exciting build. You guys stay safe out there. We'll see you on the next video.